I'm Lee from the Wonderwater team. I'm here to show you how to install your brand new Wonderwater unit. First things first, in order to install this, we need to have a craft knife or something sharp that we can cut the box. Once you receive the box, you will see that it needs to be facing upright. So once it's upright, we know how it stands. Once we've got it ready, we will simply put it on its side. So, like so. As you can see, we can see it in here. We're just going to cut these lines here. Like so. And then cut along the lid, the line, so that it opens. It's very important when we open it here, we must lift the machine up and fold that flap underneath. Then we can open this. We must pull out the packers, so we take the top one off. And then the two side ones. That'll be okay. So once we've taken two of them out, all we then do is we lift it up, use this foot to anchor it, once we're here, this will have a handle that you can clip onto the back, like so. That allows you to lift it. Then we hold it from this side and we lift and we place, ready to install. Okay, now that we have our unit out and ready to set up, here's what we do next. You open the door here. Inside you will see everything that's in here. Here is the water bottle itself. Here's what we'll use to fill up with the water every time it gets empty. This is the hose that we use to fill the bottle up. Inside here you will see filters. These are the filters that the water runs through to clean the water. And underneath, this is our drip tray. I'm just going to show you now how to install the drip tray. This can be the first thing that we do. Here's the drip tray. We'll just make sure that this is locked in square. A nice and tight fit. You will see on the back it's got little grooves here. These grooves lock into these grooves here. So I'm pushing it right up against the back and sliding it down. Hold up. As you can see, it's locked in place now. The water comes out of here, so any extra water that comes in will fall into the drip tray. All we do is we take the plastic off. We must make sure that this unit is placed exactly where you want to place it in the house. So, if this is the right spot that we want to put it in this house, we must make sure that we set it up first and have the correct distance from the wall, and then also get ready to, and it needs to have a power source to plug it in. So, how far does it need to be from the back of the wall? About 10 centimeters. So, if I do this with my hand, that is roughly 10 centimeters, so it needs to be that far from the back of the wall. What is the back? This is the back part of the machine, so it needs to be 10 centimeters from the wall to give it clearance and space so that the unit can breathe. Once that's set, all we need to do is we need to get the power cord and chop this off. So, I'm going to get my trusty knife, cut this off. And we are ready to power up. Let me put this back. Next thing I have to do is fill up the water bottle. This hose here is what takes the water out of the water bottle, so this needs to be taken off. In order to do this properly, we simply lift the metal, which makes it easy to come out. When you lift this out, this does have a stand where you can pop it in. The stand goes right here, it will slot in nicely, and it will sit there comfortably while you go and refill the tank. This is the tank here. This is a 15-litre water tank. The best way to hold this is it has two side inserts, one here and one here. So all we will do is put our hands in and lift nice and easy. It's only 15 litres, it's not that heavy, and it's very manoeuvrable and easy to move around. So I'm going to do this now. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to fill the refillable water tank. First and foremost, we must need to get the hose that we need to fill it up, which is in this plastic bag here. So all we do, we take this out, and we take the head piece out. So you will have this piece and this piece. These bits here, we'll have to cut these off so that we can pull out the pipe. So I'm going to do that now. Be very careful if you're using a knife. And please make sure you don't cut the piping, otherwise it will drip and leak. So now we have the hose and we have the headpiece to the hose. What we do with this is if you can see this, I'll bring this up forward, we stick this in like so. Sometimes it requires a bit of force, but it shouldn't be too hard. So as you can see, that is now one piece. Now we're going to attach this to our hose piece, our tap piece, this part here, and we're going to turn it on. In order to do that, we must first make sure that we wrap the head piece around the tap. If you can see, it's very flexible and rubbery, so you can maneuver it any way you can. Once we're set, we'll get the hose, and we're going to run this in the bottle. While we do this, the best practice is to hold this part here while we turn the tap on. And that's going to fill. Now there will be times where water will drip down the tap. Don't worry about that, that's fine. Just try not to make a mess in your sink. So as mentioned, we've already moved this metal piece up. That locks it in, so we're moving it up to put it in. to push this in, we're going to push this down. Once it's down, to lock it in, we push that down. Once that's set up, this unit is ready to go inside the water unit. Just be careful to, when we're going to close this, make sure that this little cord here isn't hanging out. We don't jam it or anything. It needs to be locked inside. And once it's locked in, then there will be no problems with that water servicing through to the unit. Okay, so we're here now. We've filled up the water bottle, the refillable water tank. It's in the unit now. Now we're going to turn our machine on. So we're going to plug the machine in right now. Now I'm going to turn it on at the wall. As you can see on here, there's different numbers here. This side here represents, that's the temperature for your hot water that you have. This one here, this temperature is for your cold water. Right now, it's actually just, you can hear the machine working. It's actually sucking the water out of the bottle and filling up all the tanks in this actual water unit. This temperature here will reach 90 to 93 degrees in temperature for your hot water. This temperature here will reduce to 3 degrees. We have to wait for this to cool down. That's going to take its time to cool it down. So while it's on now, we're just going to let this roll and do its thing. So now that the machine is working, we actually can set this machine up now and set it up so that we set the time and the date, so that when it's going to automatically clean, it will clean at a set time. So how do we do this? What we do is we hold down the mode button and we're going to set our time. So we're going to set our time for 1 o'clock. So if we're setting it for 1 o'clock, we simply go up and down, and if you can see, it will change to AM or PM. We're going to go 1 PM. So once we've got the desired time, we set, then we go up, and we're going to go set. Then we set the day of the week. We're going to say that today is Monday. Set. Now we're looking at the temperature. That's fine as it is. And we leave, so that's the normal temperature. Basically, this is a normal default. You leave it as it is, 93 degrees. And as I mentioned, when it goes to its coldest at 3 degrees, we set that. Always on? Yes. Sterilization for 3 hours? Yes. All we're going to do is going to do this, 3, set. From 1 AM, set. Sterilization on, set. And that is basically how you set up the time and the date on your machine. Now, just one thing to note, if for some reason you don't want the hot water working, what we do is we simply, because this is the hot icon here, and that's the temperature, if we don't want it to heat, we simply hold that down for 5 seconds and it's gone. What that means is that will not heat that at all. It'll stay normal temperature. If we want to put that back on, we hold it down for 5 seconds. Same thing. Same thing for cold. That's flashing now, and it's at the moment it's cooling down. If I wanted to stop that, we'll hold down cooling. 5 seconds. Now that's stopped. The unit just stopped there because the fridge is not working in the unit to cool it down. However, if I want to turn that back on, simply press cooling again for 5 seconds. And now it's back to cooling again. Those are the basic temperatures that you'll need to operate the machine. Once you've set this, you don't need to work any of these controls anymore. The only controls you'll need to use are for use, and that's these top ones. This is hot water here. To basically unlock this, you hold this button down, and once it changes, now if I press this, it will spill out hot water at 94 degrees. However, if I leave it, it's just switched back now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it again. If I press this button now, it's not going to work. But if I press it again, hold it down, once it's switched over and I hold it down, this is the cold water. This here is ambient water. What this means is that if you don't want hot water or you don't want cold water, you will just get it at room temperature water, whatever the temperature is that's sitting in the bottle right now.